Hey, it's Chris. I'm out here at WWDC in San Jose. Yes, this is my first WWDC, which is super awesome. So exciting. The keynote was awesome. I meant to make a video yesterday, but I kind of got sick. But it turns out to be a good thing because it gave me some more time to reflect, and what I don't want to do is just give you a video announcing the announcements. I want to actually be thoughtful with my reactions and tell you what I think about stuff from a hardcore Apple user's perspective. So there's a lot to cover here. I'm probably gonna break this up into two different parts. I'm gonna start off with my reactions to iOS 12 and WatchOS 5, and I'm gonna follow up with my reactions to macOS Mojave, and what's new with the Apple TV. Also, shout out to the rest of the YouTube crew who was out here covering this. Judd from Your Average Consumer, MKBHD, John from TLD, iJustine, Sarah Dici. Yeah, it was cool to meet everybody. Before we get any further, let me tell you about one of the sponsors that helped make this video possible, and that is Pluggable. Pluggable's new Thunderbolt 3 dock will eliminate the need to constantly plug and unplug multiple devices to your MacBook or tablet. The dock's anodized aluminum enclosure and black bezel design can be positioned horizontally or vertically, and you can connect two uncompressed 4K 60Hz monitors. I definitely like the way this thing looks on my desk, and yes, it is way more convenient. If you want to check them out, the link is down in the description. So I want to kick off talking about iOS 12 by talking about something that a lot of people are probably going to find boring, but I think it's really important, and it's going to breathe some new life into a lot of people's devices, and that is just the performance improvements that are coming to iOS. So for instance, an iPhone 6, which we're talking about even older devices, will be able to launch apps 40% faster and open the camera app shortcut 70% faster. It seems like a lot of people were super disappointed that Apple didn't talk about any new hardware at this year's WWDC, but the thing is, this is something that almost makes your older device feel like new. And I think a lot of people are gonna appreciate the stability and performance improvements in a big way. One of the things that I'm most excited about in iOS 12 is screen time, which is gonna help us be a little bit less addicted to our iPhones. I don't know about you, but I'm super guilty of just being on my phone from sunup until sundown. It's hard when you're a tech reviewer, but I think it's hard for everybody because there's just so many notifications and all these apps are like screaming for your attention. So it's cool that Apple's addressing this. So a huge part of this is just making you more aware of your actions. And so iOS 12 is gonna give you a breakdown of what apps you've used the most, like individually and also grouped by category. So think like games or social media. And you can see that anytime. And then at the end of the week, you'll also get a recap kind of telling you how you've been doing. Now, what you can also do is set limits for how long you want to be able to use certain apps. And it's not like it's gonna lock you out permanently. You can request some more time, but the awareness of how much time you've used is gonna be huge. I'm really curious to know if you guys like this or don't, so let me know down in the comments what you think. Kind of along the same lines, Do Not Disturb is becoming a bit more powerful now, so you can turn it on for like just an hour or just in the evening till you leave the current location, or even at the end of an event like I'm at right now. The next thing that I'm really excited about is something that everybody's gonna be excited about, but it's group notifications, which people have been asking about and wanting forever, it seems like. But they're finally here with iOS 12, and that means that when you get a notification, they're all gonna be stacked by the app that's sending that notification. And then you can interact with all of those all at once. So if Twitter sends you like 50 notifications or 10 notifications, however many people are talking to you, then you can just say dismiss or deal with those all at once, which is really a lot better than having to do it individually. Something else that's related that I'm really excited about is the ability to now be able to say, I want to be notified quietly by certain apps. And what that means is you're not gonna get a buzz or a vibration. It's not gonna try to get your attention when you set it to quiet. Instead, it's just gonna show up in your notification center. So it's there if you go looking for it, but it kind of stays out of the way otherwise. I like all these new features because what it's letting you do is fine tune your digital life kind of, and you can really parse like, I want this but not this, or I want this then but not there, and it's just much more customizable. Anytime you can personalize something, it just gets a lot better. So another cool thing is that FaceTime is getting a major update here. Instead of just being able to FaceTime with one person, you're now gonna be able to FaceTime with up to 32 people, which is kind of mind-blowing. I really don't know who's gonna use that. There was talk about like doing YouTube collaboration and getting 32 people on there just to show you. I don't know how you would see it otherwise. But anyways, you can do it with 32 people. What's more exciting to me is that I'm pretty sure I heard this, so don't quote me because I'm just pretty sure, but it seems like they mentioned that you could listen in or participate with just audio on your Apple Watch, and that's kind of cool. Like if a few people are talking and you want to get in on the conversation, but you're not like somewhere where you can like show where you're at, then just participate with audio. That's pretty cool. I'm pretty excited about that. Something else that's very cool that I'm excited to try out is Siri shortcuts. And some people have described it almost like IFTTT, if this then that app that lets you automate stuff for Siri. So if you have a specific action or string of actions in mind, you can activate those with a trigger word, like a shortcut in Siri, and make a bunch of stuff happen. So I think if you're a power user or a very techie person, you're gonna immediately love this. I don't know how many shortcuts just like a regular old Joe's gonna use, but the thing is, this makes things a lot more powerful. Again, for that same reason, personalization. Something else that was announced was this dual AR ability. So if you had like an iPad and your friend had an iPad and there was a table, you could both be interacting and playing with the same objects, think like a game or something, in that environment, and somebody can even like participate by watching as well, which is kind of cool. It's like a shared AR experience. It's neat. I don't think I'm personally gonna use that much, but what I'm really excited about is the future of AR with Apple. The fact that they're making any kind of progress here just points to a cool future, I think. I'm not gonna like speculate and say that AR glasses are on the horizon anytime soon or anything like that, but I'm excited to see where Apple is headed in the future. So Animojis have been around for a while already. There's a few new Animojis that got announced, which is kind of cool. I mean, Animojis I never really used except for like that first week when they were available because they were new. I get it, like it's cool. If you're in a place where you can't really interact, you know, with video, it's a cool way to like show your expression. What's a little bit cooler though is Memojis, which were just announced, and it's an Animoji, but it's your face. Hey, it's Chris, check it out. I'm a Memoji, look at this. And so you can sit there, and I got to try this. You can customize it completely with like your face color, your hair, your eyebrows, even your eye color. It's pretty in-depth. But then you can superimpose that Memoji on your face, which is pretty awesome. You can add some filters, you can add some stickers. So this, I think, is actually gonna get used a lot more than probably just the regular Animojis. That's my guess. There's some other stuff too that's gonna be really fun to play with in iOS 12. The Photos app got an update, iBooks got an update, News got an update. So yeah, I'm not gonna really mention those. I'm gonna move on to some other stuff, but there's lots of stuff to look forward to. So moving on to WatchOS 5, you guys know I'm a huge Apple Watch fan, an enormous Apple Watch fan. So the thing that I am most excited about, honestly, is the new improvements to the Siri watch face, which I was super excited when they announced last year. And let me just say this before I get any further. I know Apple really focuses on fitness stuff when it comes to the Apple Watch and health, which is awesome. That stuff is just like a bonus to me. I really love like productivity and the AI and stuff on my Apple Watch and what I can do with it. I actually do some real work on my Apple Watch. And if you wanna know how, you should check out my Apple Watch apps videos. But I just wanna get that out of the way. I'm excited about the health stuff, but I'm more excited about some of the other stuff. So the improved Siri watch face just gives you more. Like you can get live sports scores now, a commute time, heart rate tracking, of course the new Siri shortcuts, third-party apps access, which is huge. So one example that they gave was if you just got off work, you can look at your watch and it's gonna automatically show your driving home playlist. So this is pretty cool. I love the Siri watch face and I can't wait to try this out. I think another really big deal for me is enhanced notifications. A lot of people rely on notifications just to get information, but now they're becoming a lot more interactive. So for instance, you can get a notification that will let you check into your flight with just a tap. That is amazing because checking into a plane can be really annoying. So it's cool, like, hey, it's time to check in, done. And just like in iOS, I'm loving the fact that notifications are now going to be stacked as well and grouped, which means you can deal with them all at once, right on your wrist. Something else that's just like a nice to have, something that was thoughtful for them to include, is that you don't have to say, hey Siri anymore when you raise your wrist. Instead, it will just know that you're talking to it when you raise your wrist. No more hey Siri. Now here's something that's kind of interesting. You can actually view a little bit of web content on your Apple Watch now. So WebKit has been adapted to your Apple Watch, and so if you get a notification or something that has some web content like a picture, you can now actually view that and see it, which you couldn't do before, and it's optimized for this small screen. I gotta say, Apple could have announced just about anything for the Apple Watch and I would have loved it because I love this product so much, and all of these things are just kind of like making me giddy. I'm a super Apple Watch nerd, so these might seem like small things to some people, but this is like huge stuff for me. Now there was some new workout stuff, running stuff, yoga stuff, but one thing that has to do with physical activity that I'm actually pretty excited about is the ability to start competitions with your friends and run that over a 7-day period, because for me, if you turn it into a game, I love multiplayer games. Like that element of competing and trying to beat other people, that's what kind of makes it fun. So this is like one way that I would actually want to get out and start exercising more, honestly. Also, just like on iOS, all the stuff that I talked about with Do Not Disturb, that applies here on your watch too, so that's a double thumbs up for me. Something else that was announced was this new walkie-talkie app, which is basically instant voice communication, just like it sounds like, and this kind of takes me back to childhood. Like walkie-talkies are fun, right? This could be cool. I'm not like quite sure what the use case is until I get it and maybe test it. I like the idea of it. Again, like that this is a feature that's possible to use. I really don't know what to do with it until I actually check it out. So I'll get back to you on my thoughts on walkie-talkie. So Apple's native podcast app is now coming to the Apple Watch, which I think a lot of people are gonna be excited about. Personally, I've slowly been switching back to all of the Apple native apps like Mail, for instance, instead of a third-party email app. The reason is they just seem to work better. Sometimes they seem a little bit more boring, but they always seem to work a little bit better. I have to say one thing that was kind of disappointing for me though this year is that there's no Apple Notes on the Apple Watch, because that's one of my most used apps ever. I use it to write scripts for these videos, to take all kinds of notes, and just like develop and deploy the strategy for the channel. So it'd be nice to have some of that right on the wrist and be able to like take a quick voice note. I hope that's coming soon, because right now I'm just kind of stuck using drafts, which is not bad, but I have to put it into drafts and then stick it into my notes later if I want to use it. So it's just kind of a workaround. All right, so I'm gonna stop it here for part one. I got a plane to catch. I'm gonna edit this in the plane. When I get back into the studio, I'm gonna wrap up with my macOS Mojave and my Apple TV thoughts. So thank you for watching. Let me know what you thought about all this stuff down in the comments. Don't forget to check out Instagram and Twitter. I'm at Daily Tech, spelled Daily T-E-K-K, in both of those places. And I'll see you for part two. Later.